It's May 5th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a hidden weapon mistaken for something harmless, a battle that defied the odds, and a moment of perfection in a game. Let's begin. On May 5th, 1945, deep in the forest near Bly, Oregon, a quiet Sunday school picnic turned into something that no one could have imagined. Pastor Archie Mitchell had taken his pregnant wife Elsie and 5 children into the Vermont National Forest. The war felt far away here, distant and almost unreal. And then they found it. A strange object tangled among the trees, silent, almost harmless looking. The children approached it, curious. They called out and Elsie followed. Then the explosion shattered the stillness. In an instant, Elsie and all 5 children were gone. No warning, no second chance. What they had touched was a Fugo balloon bomb, launched from Japan, carried across the Pacific by high-altitude winds, drifting unseen for thousands of miles before descending at random. No one in the forest knew such a weapon existed, and the government had kept it a secret. For months, these bombs had been arriving silently over North America, and the public was never told. This single moment remains the only time enemy weapons killed civilians on the continental U.S. during World War II. Today, a quiet monument stands where it happened. The forest has grown back and the silence has returned, but somewhere, perhaps, hundreds of balloons are still waiting that were never found. On May 5th, 1862, under the darkening sky outside of the city of Puebla, something improbable began to unfold. A smaller, poorly equipped force stood in the path of one of the most powerful armies in the world. At its head was Ignacio Zaragoza, just 33 years old, facing the invasion backed by Napoleon III. The French army advanced with confidence. They were seasoned, elite, and nearly unstoppable. This was not supposed to be a battle, it was supposed to be a victory. But the Mexican defense held strong. Then came the second wave. Gunfires echoed through the hills, cannons roared, and smoke swallowed the battlefield. Yet they still held. By the third assault, the air had grown heavy with tension. And then the sky broke. Rain began to fall. Slow at first, then harder, turning the ground to mud, slowing movements. The French advance faltered. What should have been a decisive invasion turned into confusion, hesitation, and then retreat. Against all explanation, the smaller force forced one of the world's greatest armies to withdraw. Today, Cinco de Mayo looks very different. What was once a desperate stand against an invading empire is now remembered with music, celebration, and color. On May 5th, 1904, in a crowded ballpark in Boston, something impossible began to take shape. At the Huntington Avenue grounds, more than 10,000 people watched Cy Young step onto the mount. Across from him sat Rue Boudel, a future legend, unpredictable and dangerous. It was supposed to be a duel, but it never became one. The first batter came and was dismissed, then another and another. No hits, no walks, no errors, just growing uneasy silence. In baseball, perfection isn't supposed to exist. Yet, inning by inning, failure never came. 27 men stepped to the plate that day. 27 men were erased. The game lasted only 83 minutes, and something about it felt longer, heavier, as if time itself had slowed to watch. It wasn't just a perfect game, it came under new rules with pitching distance set exactly at 60 feet 6 inches, and still no one could touch him. It was a part of a streak that defied logic, over 25 consecutive innings without allowing a single hit. And for the final out, Young faced Woodall himself. One last pitch, one last swing, then it was over. A perfect game, the only one in Boston history, and more than a century later, it still lingers. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.